The following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
Hello all and welcome into the Breslin Center here in East Lansing, Michigan, where today Michigan State University will introduce its new athletic director, Dan Bartholomae, coming over from Western Michigan, where he's led the Broncos since 2022. He now assumes the role as the AD here at Michigan State. And in just a couple of moments, he will be introduced to Spartan Nation as he's making his way through the Hall of History, being greeted by the Spartan Pep Band and dance team, and starting to make his way up to the podium. We'll get the first comments from Dan Bartholomae here in just a few moments.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on what is certainly a great day for Michigan State athletics. At this point, to get us started, please welcome to the stage President Kevin Guskowitz.
Good afternoon. It is a great day to be a Spartan. And I want to thank all of you for joining us today, especially on relatively short notice. This is an especially good day to be a Spartan, and I'm thrilled that you could join us to be part of this special day with us. I'd like to begin by thanking members of our Board of Trustees who've joined us today. Trustees Rebecca Barhar-Cook, Trustee Dennis Deno. I'm looking to see where you all are. Thank you. And Trustee Kelly Tebay. Thank you. I also want to thank all of those who played an integral role in helping us throughout this process, this search process for our Michigan State University's next athletics director. And I'm grateful for all the support that we've had to land an outstanding new athletics director. Michigan State owns a proud legacy in intercollegiate athletics, and today we are home to 23 varsity sports, backed by a tradition of excellence, a base of passionate fans, many of who've joined us here today, and thank you, and an ambitious vision for our future. In the past year, our student athletes have delivered powerful performances both in the classroom and in the field of competition. Men's tennis won its first conference title since 1967. Ice hockey earned its third consecutive Big Ten regular season championship. Women's soccer reached the NCAA quarterfinals for the first time ever. Men's cross country, women's golf, and women's gymnastics all represented Michigan State at their respective NCAA championships. And men's basketball again reached the NCAA Sweet 16, while women's basketball reached their round of 32. Our student athletes continued raising the bar for academic success too. Our student athletes matched the highest graduation rate in department history and posted graduation success rates among the very best in the Big Ten. In May, Spartan student athletes topped a 3.5 cumulative GPA for the first time in department history. These students also continue to honor us through their supportive engagement in the community, which speaks to the character and dedication that represent Michigan State so well. The success is due to so many people who dedicate their time, their talent, their energy to this place. Many who are here today, I want to acknowledge as well our incredible staff, our coaches. You are lifelong mentors for our student athletes, and you put in this effort day in and day out, and we owe a debt of gratitude to you as well. I also want to add my special thanks to John Palumbo for serving as interim athletics director and for continuing to lead Spartan Ventures with a steady hand, a great vision, and a care for our people. John's leadership is creating new opportunities for the future of Spartan athletics, for our student athletes and coaches. And for that, we are grateful. John, thank you. We all know that college athletics today is in an especially dynamic state, with evolving rules and economics that create new challenges for institutions to compete and to excel at the highest level. The future will certainly belong to those universities that embrace innovation while remaining grounded in their mission. Here at MSU, our task is to equip our student athletes with the resources and the experiences to prepare them to compete at the highest levels, even as they pursue MSU's world-class education to graduate as leaders who will make a difference long after their playing days are over. And I know that Dan Bartholomae shares that understanding and that commitment. And he has the experience, the vision, the values to lead Spartan Athletics into this new chapter while working closely with our internal and external stakeholders. Dan will lead an already strong program, and I'm certain he will push us all to new areas of excellence. Dan comes to us with a substantial background. He's accrued experience in critical functions, including athletics department operations and internal affairs, student support and program compliance, community engagement and academic achievement, capital projects and public-private partnerships, fundraising and external revenue growth, and of course, building winning programs. His excellence was recognized with his naming as a finalist for the Sports Business Journal 2026 Athletic Director of the Year this past year. With Dan, I am confident that we're entering this new era of intercollegiate athletics with a bold, energized, and visionary leader who understands the importance of building trusting relationships with our coaches and student athletes, with our senior leaders and our board of trustees and faculty, with our alumni and donors. This is all very critical for our success at Michigan State University. So for all these reasons, I am thrilled and excited to welcome Dan Bartholomae as Michigan State's next Vice President and Director of Intercollegiate Athletics. And I'm pleased to also welcome Dan's wife, Lauren, and their children, Dylan and Lily, into our Michigan State family. But before I welcome Dan to the stage, I just want to share a quick story about our new athletics director. I was wrapping up a meeting with him just about a week ago. And I noticed on his cell phone there was a picture, screensaver picture, and I said, "Is that your family?" He said, "Yes, it's my family." And he was quick to open it and to show me his phone. And he said, "And you're not going to believe this, but that picture, it was taken last year at Spartan Stadium." And so, Sparty, you liked that, didn't you? I saw that. You liked that. So I think that he and his family were destined to join our Spartan family and to be back in Spartan Stadium for this year's kickoff game and for many, many years to come, but will always be wearing the Spartan green and white. So please join me in welcoming Michigan State's new athletics director, 22nd athletics director, Dan Bartholomae.
And Athletic Director Dan Bartholomae now joining President Kevin Guskowitz on the stage. A quick photo with a MSU football jersey that reads Bartholomae with the number 22 representing the 22nd Athletic Director in MSU history. And now, Dan Bartholomae will step up to the podium.
Thank you. Well, Kevin said it first. Is it a great day to be a Spartan? Let's go. Let's start, okay? How about a nod to the band, all right? One of the world-class bands in Division I athletics. I can't wait to work with you. And also our spirit squads. Thank you for being here. I will tell you, I've done this for about 26 years. No one works harder than the spirit squad, all right? Nobody. They're at everything. I will try to be at everything. They're at everything. The staff has heard me say it. The coaches have heard me say it. Anyone who has passed me in a hallway, and there's been a lot of you in the past 36 hours, has probably heard me say it. I am so excited and so honored to be your athletic director here at Michigan State University. In simple terms, this is a dream come true for me. The opportunity to work at the best institution, in the best state, and in the best conference in the country. It is the opportunity to serve some of the most talented student athletes in the world, who we are so fortunate to have here at this great university, and to prepare them for meaningful and fulfilling lives after college. It is the opportunity to serve alongside a staff of professionals and coaches who pour their hearts and souls into this work, this important work, every single day, and to help them develop so that they can achieve their own dreams. It is the opportunity to serve the university community and faculty as a true partner in achieving a purpose much larger than any one department. And it is the opportunity to elevate and energize a community of alumni and supporters around one of America's greatest pastimes. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. It is a destination job, and I am incredibly grateful that you have entrusted me to deliver. A moment like this is never achieved alone. On a personal note, I want to take a moment to thank the people who have played a meaningful role in my journey throughout college athletics. First, I want to thank the leaders in athletics who challenged me, inspired me to become a better professional, and who continue to be mentors and friends. Starting with Donna Sanft, the former gymnastics coach and eventually deputy athletic director and senior women administrator at Pitt, who hired me for my first job. Donna didn't just teach me that the student athlete is at the core of everything we do, she lived it. And for that reason, it remains at the core of who I am. Steve Peterson, former athletic director at Nebraska and Pitt, taught me the importance of preparation and attention to detail. He showed me that in matters of style, you swim with the current, but in matters of principle and integrity, you stand like a rock. And finally, to Scott Barnes, former athletic director at Pitt and recently retired athletic director at Oregon State University. Scott taught me that a vision that isn't bold and maybe even a little frightening is probably not the right vision. He gave me the autonomy, support, and courage to lead on my own, to make mistakes and learn from them. Most importantly, he showed me the importance of a campus and community partnership and what it means to be a great citizen of the university beyond the athletic department. I'm incredibly thankful for the relationships, mentorship, and support I received in Kalamazoo as the athletic director at Western Michigan. Western Michigan is an incredibly special place with incredibly special people who have worked together to produce special results over the last few years. It was an honor and a privilege to be a part of it, and I leave a piece of my heart there. I'm particularly thankful to former President Ed Montgomery, who hired me and trusted me with my first athletic director opportunity. To Bill Johnson, chairman of Greenleaf Companies, who provided steady counsel and support, and to President Russ Cavalluna, who in a very short year became a trusted mentor and friend. I know he will lead that university to heights it has never seen. I'm also blessed to have an amazing family who you will get to know. First, my parents, both lifelong educators, who have always taken an interest in my career, offered guidance whenever I asked, and showered all of us with their love. My mom is watching online with my sister. I know my brother's watching somewhere as well. And we all know my dad is watching from somewhere. And he would have thought this was something. My kids, Dylan's a 16-year-old junior in high school. He's a pretty good soccer player. He spends a lot of time on it. Lily's a 14-year-old freshman. She's a heck of a gymnast and transitioning to be a really, really talented cheerleader. They're about to embark, let's hear it, Spirit Squad. They're about to embark on move number 3 in their short lives. What I want you to know is they received this news with so much love, support, and pride for their dad and our family. Their resilience, compassion, and accomplishments make me proud every single day. And finally, my wife, Lauren, an unbelievable mom, wife, teacher, and yoga professional, who is also just 2 semesters shy from earning her second master's degree, this time in clinical mental health counseling, a skill the kids and I can promise you she is very good at. This profession can be a lot, so she gets the keys to the ship, and I can tell you it is a smooth and elegant ride with the best captain there is. I can't wait for you to meet all 3 of them because they are great, great people. I'm also thankful for the new friends and partners I've made at Michigan State University in just a short time who welcomed me and taught me so much throughout this process. That includes Harold Balk, Christopher Meld, Steve Smith, April Klobus, Rick Lash, Kelly Tebay, Dennis Deno, Pat Fitzgerald, Robin Freilich, Stacy Soblodnik-Stoll, and Phil Hickey. I want to thank Greg and Don Williams, with whom I have shared meaningful conversations about my vision for Michigan State and the exciting future ahead of us. I want to thank an old friend and mentor from Kalamazoo, who will continue to be an important partner and Spartan alum as I take on this challenge, Aaron Ziegler of Ziegler Auto Group. And I want to thank Tom Izzo. My relationship with Coach Izzo started during my first few months on the job at Western Michigan in 2022. I was sitting in my office, and I get a random call from a 517 number. And I thought, well, maybe I'll pick this up. It was Coach, okay? Calling simply to get to know me and to offer his advice and support to a new professional in the state who he saw had big dreams and big aspirations. Coach, I answered the call then, and I will always answer it moving forward. I very much appreciate your counsel, and we're going to be great teammates. I want to thank President Kevin Guskowitz, the real and most important draw to this job for me. I met President Guskowitz 2 years ago when Western Michigan took on Michigan State in the NCAA soccer championship. I left that meeting excited about our Pittsburgh connections, our shared love of the Steelers, and most importantly, our shared passion for collegiate athletics and being excellent. I'm now honored to be his teammate as we take on an ambitious plan to elevate Michigan State University through the impact of athletics. Finally, I want to thank John Palumbo, who graciously spent 2 hours with me yesterday, and it was the most educational 2 hours that I've had since I've been on campus. John is incredibly talented, and you all were incredibly lucky to have him serve this university as interim athletic director, and he did it with incredible skill and professionalism, and I'm very much looking forward to being on a team with him. And a heartfelt nod and thank you to my friend Jay Batt. This place is in great shape with great opportunity to elevate quickly, and many thanks to his leadership. Choosing Michigan State University was easy, and I believe there are 3 qualities that immediately set this place apart. The first is the people. A basketball coach who calls a new athletic director at another school simply to just offer advice. A president who prioritizes relationships before anything else. A donor base that has already gone out of its way to welcome us and be helpful. And if I haven't returned your call, I'm sorry. I've got like 600 unread text messages. It'll happen in the next 24 to 36 hours. A staff that has greeted me with warmth, smiles, and excitement. Our people are our greatest asset, and we are going to activate that asset. The second is the foundation that already exists. Everyone I met with yesterday said essentially the same thing. Everything we need to achieve our most aspirational goals is already here. This is Michigan State, all right? We have big goals for Sparta, the Stadium District, Spartan Ventures, the Big Ten, supporting this new outstanding football coach we have to win at the highest levels, NCAA championships. We should never settle for anything less than the best, because the best is right here at our disposal already. And the third is our mentality, and it's my favorite. We have a blue-collar, roll-up-your-sleeves mentality that separates us a little bit in this state and in this conference, and I like that. I want to be somewhere where part of the plan is simply to outwork the competition. That's a style I believe in, and that gets me to the vision. Spartan excellence without exception. The standards will be high, and the expectations will match them. We can achieve extraordinary things at Michigan State University by challenging the status quo and continuously aiming higher. I told our staff we are going to work really hard, maybe even harder than you've ever worked in your life. But it's going to be fun, and there's going to be a lot of green and white confetti rolling around this campus and real soon. And most importantly, we are going to do it together. So what does Spartan excellence without exception mean? It means we will create the greatest student-athlete experience in the country. Our student-athletes will compete at the highest levels. They will receive a world-class education, and they will be prepared to pursue their passions, lead with purpose, and make a difference long after their eligibility is exhausted. It means we will be amazing community partners, both here in East Lansing and across our Spartan family around the entire world. Athletics will be a welcoming entry point to Michigan State University. Our events will energize you. They will be fun. They are supposed to be. This is college athletics. They will be different. They will be innovative. And they will leave you wanting to invest your time, passion, and energy with Michigan State. It means that we will serve the university as amazing partners, drawing upon the exceptional knowledge, expertise, and resources already present within our university community. We will aim not just to serve as the university's front porch, offering a welcoming and accessible point of entry, but also as a bridge, a hallway that connects people to the many outstanding programs, opportunities, and resources that are available across Michigan State University. And finally, I'm competitive. It means we will compete and we will win at the highest levels. And when you compete in the Big Ten Conference, that means national championships. All right, I walked into the administrative building yesterday. I walked by that wall of national championships at the entrance to our offices on the way to this press conference, and I thought to myself, folks, it has been too long. We will play to win. And when we do, we are going to celebrate the heck out of it, all of us, together. And we will get there because we will have a plan. Implementing this vision, Spartan excellence without exception, will take time. And it will require meaningful input and feedback from our student athletes, our coaches, our staff, our faculty, our alumni, our external partners. But together, we will create a plan that inspires and unites this community, establishes ambitious goals, and provides a clear path for how we will accomplish them. Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait to get started. And I'll leave you with a little bit about what all this means to me, because it means a lot. When I started this in this industry as an administrative graduate assistant, 2002, aside from sorting mail and getting people coffee, one of my first jobs was to connect our student athletes with members of the community to help them find jobs after college. I've had hundreds of responsibilities since that moment. But that mission, serving student athletes, building community through connection and advancement, that has never left me. And in those first few weeks on the job, I knew that it was my dream to become a Division I athletic director at the highest level. So folks, I am living my dream today. And that is the energy you're going to get from me every single day I walk into that office across the street. And I have a name for it. I call it dream energy. And I believe it is the most powerful force on the planet. But here's the catch, and I've learned this in the last 36 hours. Mine alone won't do it. This is too big. I need all of your dream energy, okay? I need all of your dream energy. And if somewhere along the way you've lost it, I understand. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be back here on the 31st, and I'm asking you to go find it. So let's do this together. And we're going to finish off this press conference the way we're going to win national championships, okay? Together, all right? We're going to stand up if you can, and we're going to do the loudest go green, go white in the history of Michigan State University press conferences, all right? Do me this honor, everybody. I get to do the go green. Okay, ready? Go green! Go white! Thank you. Let's get to work.
All right. At this point, I'm going to have President Guskowitz come back up to the stage, and we'll take some Q&A from the media who have joined us today. We do have a mic. Raise your hand. We'll get the mic over to you. Please identify yourself and then direct your question to the individual you'd like to answer it. Fred.
Welcome. Congratulations. Fred Heumann from WILX here in Lansing.
Thank you.
I think that when you opened your statement with this is a destination job, a lot of people around here needed to hear that. My question to you is, when you showed President Guskowitz that picture from Spartan Stadium, did you ever envision this? And since you started in 2002, how long has this been a bucket list job for you?
The answer to your question is yes. It's been a bucket list job from the moment that I walked in to the office at Western Michigan in 2022. And I already talked about what a special place that is. That is not a place you just walk away from. It is special. There's a reason why we've had the success we've had. And it's not just because of me. But again, I go back to the people and the foundation and the opportunity. I've had my eye on this place. Kevin knows that. Others know that too. I've walked around these events. We've played here, and I've taken notes. And this was the one I wanted. Always has been. And I'm really glad to be here.
Rico Beard, 97.1 out of Detroit. You said dream energy. You talk about the dream job. I guess, what exactly makes this the dream job, and how long before you see your dream becoming a reality of the banners and the confetti and all of that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what makes this a dream job, again, I mean, I'll go back to the three sort of what I outlined in my comments. The people, it starts with the people. And again, I go back to, what basketball coach at Michigan State calls the AD at Western to say, hey, I just want to get to know you and help you a little bit, right? And it's not just Tom, it's everybody. I've got stories about Coach Fitz that I could share with you from back in the day. I mean, people here are warm, they want what's best, they appreciate people. And then it's the foundation and the blue-collar mentality. I'm from Pittsburgh, man. We're blue-collar there. And I like to roll up my sleeves. I worked at the University of Pittsburgh and Oregon State. I want to outwork people. And I think that's what Michigan State is all about. How long till it's reality? As soon as possible, right? I'm not foolish. I know that it'll take time. We've got a lot of work to do. There's a lot that we can do better here. But there's a lot that's really going pretty well. And so we'll utilize that. We'll leverage those assets, and we'll build towards those national championships that we're all hoping for.
Jack.
Jack Ebling, the Drive with Jack. And Press Pass, is it Dan Bart? That's what they call you at Western?
A little bit of that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's followed me from high school.
We hear the term vertical integration a lot here.
Yeah.
What do you need from the Board of Trustees, from the president who hired you, 23 head coaches, and nearly 600,000 living alumni to be as successful as you've been and as you say you're going to be?
Yeah. Number one is belief. That's it, right? Believe what I'm saying because it can be done. I want you to believe, all right? The second is support and collaboration. Very simple. I'm serious about we're going to build a plan, and that might sound bureaucratic. I promise you it won't be. It'll be a living plan. We'll all participate in it. It will outline our goals, and you'll understand how we're going to get there. I need their collaboration and support in building that. And then I just need them to show up. And I'll be honest with you, Kevin is a huge reason why I wanted this job. Again, I go back to Coach Izzo, right? I'm standing on a sideline with Western Michigan's women's soccer program, and someone comes up to me and says, hey, the new president of Michigan State really wants to talk to you. Okay? And then we talk, and he's just a normal guy. He was a trainer for the Steelers at one point, right? And so I feel that already. There were 2 trustees on the search committee. I've heard from both of them already. I've spoken to the board chair. So I feel it, and that's special. We're going to activate some special things.
Stephen.
Stephen Brooks, 24/7 Sports. This question's for Kevin, if I could. Kevin, I'm curious, throughout this process, if at all, was there any priority for you to try to gauge the sense of a candidate's sort of long-term fit for it when the previous guy was only here a year? Was that at all part of your thought process during this process?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I didn't mention in describing all the great things about Dan is that he knows the state of Michigan. He's connected better than I even imagined. And the fact that he happens to be a Steelers fan, maybe that played a little bit into it. But I think Greg Williams would agree with me. But no, that is a big part of it. And I knew from that first time I met him on the sideline at our women's soccer game 2 years ago that this is somebody who cared deeply about wherever it was that he was leading, but that he had some higher aspirations. And so we are just thrilled that he's here, and I think he's going to be here for a long time.
Jim.
Thank you. For Dan, Jim Comparoni, SpartanMag.com. Name, image, and likeness has become the lifeblood, it sounds, for rosters in various sports. If you could address maybe on a micro and macro level how you plan to tackle those things. It's probably a long answer, but what can you share with us now?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you right now, it's a huge priority, right? And I've already had an opportunity to meet with several coaches to understand where their priorities lie. And no secret, roster development is the top priority, and it should be. And there's a new transactional component to that, and it's one that we're going to take really seriously. I'm still learning where we fit in the Big Ten. And so what I would tell you is we're going to start with, we want to win the Big Ten, because if you win the Big Ten, you win national championships. Okay, so we're going to start with, if we're not in the top half, we're going to need to be in the top half. And then we're going to need to get to the top third. And then we're going to evaluate what the other priorities are. It is an important component. It is not the only component, but it is an important component. We are set up with Spartan Ventures to succeed there. We are set up with community and donor support to succeed there. We need to activate third parties. We need to activate the corporate space, and we need to continue to energize and activate our donors. We will need a smart plan to sustain this beyond just 1 or 2 years. I do believe Spartan Ventures can do that, and the work began yesterday when I sat down with John.
Jim.
Follow up real quick. It's my understanding when you interviewed with one of your jobs at Western, I think you asked them, what is something big that can happen at Western? That's something that's one of your favorite questions, as I think you may have detailed.
That's true. Yeah.
During your interview process. I'm wondering if that happened during your interviews with Michigan State, and did you ask Kevin or Michigan State, what's something big that can happen here? Yeah. What was the answer? Was it what you wanted to hear? Can you
it was, yeah. National championships. That was the answer. I asked that in 3 different sessions, and that's a big deal. That's a great answer. But, there's a lot that goes into that. And so as I understood what projects are going to help us get there, that's when I learned about Spartan Ventures. That's when I learned about the Stadium District. I've just come from 2 places, built a public-private partnership at Oregon State with the stadium, built a tremendous community asset in the arena in Kalamazoo. Those projects energize me. And as important as roster retention is, and it is a top priority for our coaches, those facilities, they go beyond just training the athlete, which is incredibly important. They activate the community, right? And when you activate the community, now you serve the other pieces, right? The corporate engagement, the philanthropy that are going to help put a great roster on the field. So I'm excited about those projects that are in part already underway.
Chris Solari, Detroit Free Press. This is for Kevin. It's kind of a 2-part question with this. One, I'm wondering the timing of making this hire rather than a prolonged search. How important was the football season in terms of recruitment and donors and everything that you want to get done facilities-wise to have someone in place for that? And so I'll start with that one.
Yeah, I think that certainly played a part. We actually moved probably a little slower than we did a year and a half ago on the hire, but it was important to get the right person, it's going to be great that Dan will be here for that kickoff, first kickoff of the season here at Spartan Stadium, just like he was last year. That's where that photo was taken, I think. And we were very deliberate in making certain that we found the right person who has understands what it means to lead a big-time college sports enterprise, has the business acumen in the sense to do all the things we want to do with the Stadium District and Spartan Ventures, running it like a CEO of a major corporation, but also someone who can relate to coaches and student athletes. And there aren't a lot of them out there that can do both really well. I can guarantee you that this guy can. And I've done my homework. I've talked to coaches that have worked for him, and I've talked to the business folks who have worked alongside him. So we took a little longer. We got it done before this first football game, but all the pieces are in place.
And the second part of that is we're coming up now on almost a decade. I think it's been 8 years. There's been about 5 different athletic directors. I'm wondering about the stability piece, the importance of that for the university, but also to get those kind of projects done, to not have constant change at that position.
Yeah, well, I think Dan's already said that he's coming into a very good situation. He doesn't have to stand up Spartan Ventures and Spartan Media Ventures because we're there. It was a heavy lift over the past 7-8 months, and very happy that he's coming in already asking the right questions around that. So there's already a foundation there. We have an incredible staff here, and let me just say, as I acknowledged them earlier, change is difficult, and there's been a lot of change, to your point, over the past decade, But because they believe in the place, the staff believes in the place, and the way that Dan builds relationships quickly and has already done that over the past week, I think we're going to be in a good place. But this guy's going to be here for a long time, and I think you can be pleased.
All right, not seeing any further questions, we'll go ahead and wrap up our formal press conference. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Go Green.
Go White.
So there you have it. Newly hired Michigan State Athletics Director Dan Bartholomae being introduced to Spartan Nation here at the Breslin Center next to the Hall of History inside these walls. Again, Dan Bartholomae comes over from Western Michigan, where he had incredible success. During his time since 2022 leading the Broncos, he saw 37 conference championships. Ended up taking the Broncos to 35 different NCAA postseason appearances, had 17 All-Americans under his watch, 38 either Conference of the Year or just Specialty Award recipients, And, of course, in 2025, Western Michigan won the men's ice hockey national championship, the first time in school history there at Kalamazoo. So he's had a lot of success overwatching the athletic space there at Western Michigan. Prior to being at Western Michigan, he, of course, was at Oregon State, as you heard a little bit there. He was the deputy athletic director. Before then, he was at the University of Pittsburgh for 15 years, and all of it has led him all the way here to East Lansing. And as you talk a little bit about some of the other components, because we talk about the athletic success that Western Michigan saw with the supervision of Bartholomae, if you take a look at fundraising, and Kalamazoo had record-breaking fundraising, the average annual giving increased by 473% under his watch, and the number of unique donors increased by 105%, which are eye-popping numbers that certainly should help out MSU athletics. And he talked a little bit about that building, the arena going downtown Kalamazoo. That was a $515 million building, an arena that went there that he was able to help for Western Michigan's success while he was there. But he becomes the 22nd athletic director here for Michigan State University, and his first day will be actually game week, the Monday of the first game for the football season. It'll be on August 31st. Certainly exciting times here in East Lansing. By the way, we do have other things coming up on the network. Make sure next Wednesday in a week you join us as we have Meet the Spartans coming live to you from Spartan Stadium. That'll be on the airwaves from 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. We'll be out there for an hour. Hope you can join us for that. And earlier on in the day, here in town in Lansing, you can catch the Kristen Kelsey Show on WVFN 7:30 a.m. So we hope that we have you joining us for that broadcast as well as we get full in to the upcoming athletics season. And we're going to have a lot of broadcasts on the network for all of that. Big thanks back in the Skyview studios. Matt Contreras Valenzuela producing here this afternoon. And a big thank you to all of you who tuned in and joined us for the introductory press conference of Dan Bartholomae as MSU's AD. Until next time, I'm Dalton Shetler. So long, and go green.